Hello, sorry, not sorry. So I guess this full moon Virgo said clean up on aisle W. Um, I've been sleep. My sleep has been super broken lately, and I was like, last time I slept like this was around a lunar eclipse, and then the time before that I slept like this was before another lunar eclipse, and then there was a time or two in there where I was sleeping like it was a lunar eclipse, but it wasn't a lunar eclipse. Last night I got a full night of sleep. The night before last, I woke up every hour. It was extremely broken, and I didn't even. I was like, "When is the lunar eclipse?" Hey, Twitty, how you doing, Kathy? How's it going? Um, it wasn't a lunar eclipse, but it was a full moon last night, and that. Hey, Holly, how you doing? That Virgo full moon might as well have been a lunar eclipse. And I woke up today, and Virgo full moon said, "I know you've been having issues at work. I'm gonna take care of that for you." And it's funny because I had one coworker that was like, "What if Friday is the day?" Because I had two call off today, and it's only three of us. They were like, "Oh, I don't want to call off Friday though, because what if Friday is the day?" And then another one yesterday was like, "I got a feeling like they were like, what if tomorrow is the day?" And today was the day. Both of them were right. So it's interesting. It was a weird feeling, and I don't want. I'd never wish for anyone to like lose their source of income, any source of income. Um, but so my boss got let go today. So all of the drama and all of the issues and all of the trouble that I personally was having, and then that other people were also having, and then how the flow of everything was like disrupted and all of the issues. Yeah. Nope, no new boss. Just cuz they're going through a space, they're transitioning right now, so her boss is just gonna step up or whatever. So in the meantime, until that transition happens. So I was like, wow. And it's been like kind of sort of getting worse lately, but yeah. Am I the new boss? No. No. Ooh, that would be hilarious though if they were like, "Hey, I'm like, I'm new here, so no, I'm well, maybe, who knows? I don't know. We didn't get that far. We had like three people out today, so we were gonna have a meeting on Monday between all of us, but we'll see. So yeah, I came into that today. I was like, okay, I don't want to like, I don't know. I'm more excited to like be less. It's like to have less negative energy in the place, not necessarily like excited that she lost her job. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So it was weird. Like at first, our hearts, like me and another, well, both of us, all three of us, like our hearts were racing, and then it's like, did it really happen? And then we got an email, and after the email, it was like, oh snap, and then like it felt like we could breathe. So I don't know. Full Moon and Virgo really said, ooh, Virgo is all about like cleaning, cleansing, cleanliness, and stuff. Yeah. So I am very relieved, but it's also kind of weird at the same time. So Moon River, Moon River, wider than a mile. That's how they do it on Bayonetta 2. So, and then somebody was like, it's Christmas today. And I was like, oh, snap. This wasn't even planned. I wore my Santa Claus shirt today. But anyway, so yeah. And I wonder where Saturn is. I think I'm 2 degrees away now. Saturn is 20 degrees Aquarius. No, I'm still 3 degrees away. For the third degree of Saturn Paration, I got the High Priestess. And I was just looking at my word for 2022 is allow. But anyway. Yeah, very much so that. But I recently got some Magic the Gathering cards. I think I'm going to get into Magic the Gathering. We'll see. And I like to have fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gingerly shuffle these cards, and we're just going to see if something comes out with a little bit of a message on it. When I used the Yu-Gi-Oh cards the first time, it was a lot of like resetting the board, force like some like remove this card from play energy. And then after that, I'm going to use the Gilded. Is it the Gilded Lenormand Reverie? The Cyril Mercedes Lenormand cards. I'm gonna do like a mock grand tableau. So back in the day, I used to lay out all the cards, and then I would look for the significator for that season. And then I would pull the card to the left, the right, above, and below, and read it like the heart of the Celtic cross. But I'm going to use the Lenormand to see like what those areas are. And then we'll just sort of go from there. So I actually kind of sort of have a plan today. Hopefully this isn't too long. So the moon is in Libra now. Yeah, I think the full moon was at like 28 degrees or something like that. So the full moon in Virgo was trining. Yeah, the full moon in Virgo was trining my moon in Taurus at 27 degrees. No problem. Enjoy your day, Twitty. Have a good one. Excuse me. Ooh. All right. So let's start by having a little fun. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. All right. Not too much. But yeah, it's been an interesting week. Ooh. Ooh. Why? Nah, keep it turned up. Today is the day. Oh, it's almost spring. Spring is in 2 days. Well, the equinox, the vernal, no, yeah, the vernal equinox is in 2 days. The moon is actually going to move into Aries, I think at like 10 something Central Time on the 20th. And then the equinox is going to be like 10 minutes later. And then 10 minutes after that, something else happened. Let's see. Let me see. The moon goes into Scorpio. So according to my little astrology, according to my little transits app, the sun goes into Aries at 10:27 Central. And then we have the vernal equinox at 10:34. And then the moon moves into Scorpio at 10:44. So 20 minutes, like 20 minutes apart, the sun is going to enter Aries and the moon is going to enter Scorpio. That's masculine. The sun is going to enter the masculine side of Mars and the moon is going to enter the feminine side of Mars. And then I think what Mars and Venus are still conjuncting, maybe. Yeah. Well, yeah. They're separating, but they're still pretty close. They're only like 2 degrees apart. Jupiter and Neptune are 5 degrees apart. So that conjunction is like starting to hit that orb where it goes into effect really. Saturn is 20 degrees Aquarius. Ooh, oh, my back is feeling tingly. I got tingles. Okay. Let's do this real quick so I can move on to the meat. Oh, let me timestamp. Eve. Guess what? Hey, Eve. How are you doing? So my BOSS got let go today. And I'm not celebrating her. I'm celebrating my relief and my lack of stress and somebody so obviously out to get me that she will just like lie. She'll lie in front of other people. She'll lie on paper. But yeah, they let her go. And it's like it was more than just that. There was like so many things that she just wasn't. She was like holding up. Card game cards. I say 0000. But how are you? How are you doing? Yeah. Yep. I went into work today and I saw one of the chemists give somebody a high five. I was a little late today because I had to drive. And I was like, what's going on? And then I guess they took her stuff and then they gave her things, her personals. And then 2 hours later, no, it was an hour later because that was like 8 o'clock. We got an email saying that effective immediately, she was no longer employed with the company. So you played hooky today? Oh snap! You're not the only one that played hooky today. My coworkers played hooky today too. I was there by myself. But yeah, I was like, wow, this Virgo full moon is like cleaning house. Virgo full moon ain't come to play this year. That's why the card said just do what you do. Don't even think about it. Don't even stress. Don't even worry. It's gonna be handled. I'm in the high priestess zone right now on my Saturn return. But anyway, come on. When I was doing this before I did this, I would get a card. I ain't getting nothing. Oh. What is this? Oh, it's a shiny. Covert Technician. It's an artifact creature, human ninja. Whenever Covert Technician deals combat damage to a player, you may put an artifact card with mana value less than or equal to that damage from your hand onto the battlefield. And then it has a ninjutsu, which is return an unblocked attacker you control to hand. Put this card onto the battlefield from your hand, tapped and attacking. 2 power, 4 toughness. Costs 2 water to summon. We'll see. Egyptian Zodiac is next. Is Geb gonna be last? I'm still waiting for Mercury and Pisces. Covert Technician is interesting though, because I was talking about that high priestess. Like, don't worry about it. It's being taken care of. It's being handled. When the Seven of Swords and stuff came out, right? The bottom of the deck is the Futurist Sentinel. I have like four or five different decks boosters mixed in here, and I got 2 cards from the same family of cards. It's a artifact vehicle. I got 2 artifacts, which is interesting. Crew 3, tap any number of creatures you control with total power 3 or more. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. I folded a model in paper first to test the relative tensile strength of the plates. And that's Katsumasa the animator. And this is a 6 power, 6 toughness, 3 water to summon. I'm also like very new to magic. So, we'll see. Not last. Okay, thank you. So I think I might just go off of the titles. Oh, this is the Covert or the Futurist Sentinel. I don't think I showed it. They're both foil cards too. Ooh. The Covert Technician and the Futurist Sentinel. There's an energy here of it's almost like a setup. A Sentinel is a protector, is a warden. And the Futurist Sentinel, it gives an energy of like it's like if there's a time travel movie like Terminator 2, like the opposite of Terminator, right? It's like someone travels back in time to like make sure that something that's meant to happen happens to protect something. It's like Meet the Robinsons. Oh my gosh, it's my favorite movie. You want a personal aim? I think I can change this to like I wonder if I changed this to I can change the subscriber mode and everything. Hold up. I thought I could make it an oh yeah, I could change this to like private or something. Since it's just oh well now it's two of them. Never mind. Just kidding. I was like I can make this unlisted. I could change it to private, just me and you. Or you what? I'll give you one. I'll try. I'll see. Just send me an email. I was gonna email. Oh. That makes me remember. 1 second. Sorry. 1 second. Ooh, that is not how you spell. Okay. Right? Well, we'll schedule it or something. Um, Meet the Robinsons. This is almost Meet the Robinsons energy a little bit, and that's one of my favorite movies. I was talking about something else, but I don't remember. You know what? It almost reads as like protectors of the golden timeline energy, but also not because the futurist sentinel almost feels like Fanuel. Angel of Truth, the one who waits at the throne. He was there. And Phanuel Energy came out recently too. What's interesting though is the covert technician doesn't have enough power to man this vehicle by itself. The covert technician has power, two power and four toughness. This probably isn't going to focus. Oh, there you go. Kinda. It has two power and four focus, and three power is required to turn this artifact into a vehicle. So it feels like although things are being handled almost behind the scenes, there's still something that we have to do. Because again, the covert technician itself can't activate the Futurist Sentinel. I folded a model in paper first to test the relative tensile strength of the plates. There's something also about it's an energy, it's microcosmic to macrocosmic, it's isolated and then it's non-isolated. It's like it happens in a controlled environment and then it gets scaled up, right? Because there's the model that's made in paper to make sure that the full scale version can withstand different it says tensile, so it's like compression and what's the other one, like when you pull it, compress. Why can I not think of the word? But it's very like built to last. And if this is again that energy of like the protector of the golden timeline, then it sort of makes sense. Because then it's like instead of it being like a single good day, like an amazing day or a period of time where everything goes great and then it falls apart. It's like it comes in and it's like it's going to be maintained. It's going to last. It's the beginning of a new era, a new age. And the energy itself can do so much, but it can't do everything. It's also interesting that 2 + 4 = 6, and then this artifact creature or the artifact vehicle is 6 strength and toughness. And so it's like it pulls together its power and its durability. And then it's almost like it's very 10 of Cups in that way. Because the 10 of Cups, it's like it's one of those energies, at least for me, where hey Ariel, what's up? Oh, it's just you? Oh well, there's 3 now, so maybe Eve would have been okay with you, but um it's like because 10 of Cups, it's the energy of like if you bring 5 cups and someone else brings 5 cups, and together you both have 10 cups. Well, it's like together you have 20 cups because the 10 cups that you share, you get those 10 cups and they get those 10 cups. If that makes any sense. It's like it comes together, but it's whole apart. I don't know if that makes sense or if I explained it, but this is interesting. I almost want to get one more, but I don't want to. It's risky business, you know. Playing with playing cards. Cut math. Yeah, it's water math. Water math is not earth math. Earth math is like if Bill has 2 apples and Sally has 3 apples, and they both give all of their apples to Susan, how many apples does Susan have? Cut math is water math is like it's how like it's very like you can love more and more and more and more people, or like more and more and more people, or dislike more and more and more people, and never run out of that emotion. It's like when you share love with someone who loves you, then the love multiplies itself. It's like when 2 people come together and they like each other a lot, and then a third person comes. You know what I mean? 1 plus 1 equals 3 instead of 1 apple and 1 orange being 2 fruits. You know what I mean? It's like that. You visually understood? There you go. 30 apples. Eve. Oof, Eve is bad at earth math. How are you a Virgo? I'm just playing. But it feels like the covert technician is also. Oh, snap. I didn't even catch that. Because I was going to say it feels like the covert technician is also building the futurist Sentinel, which is like it's this weird. Yeah, multi-dimensional. Exactly. It's this weird, like, because it's like the futurist Sentinel or the covert technician builds the futurist Sentinel, and then the futurist Sentinel like protects the covert technician. It's like ensuring that it's created itself. It's like it from the future where it is created, it goes back into its own past to ensure that that future where it's created happens. Again, it's like Meet the Robinsons, but the opposite. It's like if you watch the movie from the end of it to the beginning. And like it's literally a technician and this Sentinel. Like the technician would be the person that knows how to build or operate or repair or perform maintenance on the Sentinel, right? I didn't even like I literally just caught that. It's the technician and the machine. And again, it goes from like 2 water to 3 water. Oh my gosh. 1 plus 1 equals 3. It's literally right there. You see that? Hold on, wait. How do I do this? Like this. It goes from 2 waters to 3 waters. And again, it's like you need at least 1 more to meet the requirement for that because the covert technician only has a power of 2 and the futurist sentinel needs 3. So I want to pull a deck and pull before and after the 2 and 3, the 2, 3, and 10 of cups. But I don't know which deck I want to use. Do I have a future deck? I have the after tarot. The future is after, right? So let's see. Ouch. And I kind of sort of love that as Virgo full moon vibes because the sun is in Pisces and the moon is in Virgo. So it's almost like with the moon in Virgo, there are so many things that have to be ordered, arranged, carried out, detailed, organized behind the scenes in order to bring that dream to the forefront where it's seen and experienced as the sun in reality. But there are so many things that it's almost like these things need to occur and happen in order to make that other thing happen. Like steps A through Y have to occur before the product Z is manifest. You know what I mean? That makes sense. Let's go. I could look. I want to shuffle these first. Teferi. You'd say Starman, but you don't like Starman. Oh, you should have said Starman before. I can still use Starman though. I'll use Starman for the Ten of Cups. I'll use the After Tarot for the 2 and 3. Actually, I'll use the Before Tarot for the 2, the After Tarot for the 3, and then the Starman for the 10. It's been an interesting week. It's been such an interesting week. And this week, I've just been like so not bothered. I think it was after Monday or after Tuesday where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to allow this person to make this environment any more miserable than I have to. Because I feel like with her there, I couldn't be like my authentic self. I had to be some like mute, isolated, just completely overwhelmed person. And it's like, no, I couldn't even speak to people. Hello? But instead of messing with me, she started going around and messing with other people. Like if I was talking to somebody, she would go to them and be like, hey, I need you over here. Instead of telling me like blah, 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 whatever. So this one is done. It's shuffled. She is shuffled. Now I must shuffle the other. Ooh, judgment. It was the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles and Eight of Wands was at the top of the After Tarot. Judgment was at the top of the Before Tarot. So, yeah. And I think that's what somebody said. It was like, because she was gone on my birthday and she was gone for like 3 days the next week. And somebody was like, the environment was so different when she wasn't there. It's like we could get our work done and still like enjoy each other's company. And if we're more like happy and less miserable, then not only are we going to do like better work, but also, you know, there'll be a different flow to everything as well. So, oh, this is 3 cards. Oh, snap. Hold up. Remember how I said, yes, ma'am? What's that? Remember how I said the Futurist Sentinel was like going back to the past to ensure that it gets built? It's like it's going back to the past to ensure its future. But it's the present moment for the Futurist Sentinel to make sure it gets made. It's going back in the past to make sure that it gets created. And 3 cards just fell out on the table when I was shuffling the Before Tarot. The 3 of Pentacles was at the top. The next card is the 3 of Cups and the Ace of Cups. This is literally, the 3 of Cups is literally the Futurist Sentinel. This is the deck of the past. This is the deck of the Covert Technician. I feel like the only... Oh, this is the extra water. This is the one that the Covert Technician needs because it has the 2 power, right? And it requires 3 power or more to activate the Futurist Sentinel. So Because at first I was like, it's a little concerning from a human perspective because the Ace of Cups would be something that's brand new, like very sort of like out of left field, not even a thought or a conception. And so it's like, well, how would we see it? But again, the energy of the Futurist Sentinel is making sure that it's created. And so it's almost like with the Three of Pentacles, it's like it's bringing us to the thing. It almost has an energy of like fated encounters or something that, like, I feel like choice would have to be so heavy in order to ensure that something happens. You know what I mean? Because if it was just going to happen, then we wouldn't need to make sure it happens, right? And this is the Three of Pentacles before. So they haven't even started working on the thing yet. They have the plans for it, but they haven't started building it. And with the Ace of Cups, like, it feels like it's in a completely different direction. That's interesting because then it feels like, um, well, should I look for the Two of Cups in the other deck now? I think I'll still look for the two in this one. Um, because it's like the plans are made, but it might end up in a way. You know what this is though? And I talked about it before. It's that energy where it's like it's okay for a dream to change. For us to have wanted one thing for so long and then to one day realize that for whatever reason we desire something else. That's what this feels like. Because the plans are here, but it hasn't been built yet. And then here's this brand new direction that really, it feels like it would read like fire because of all of the passion and excitement we would have for it. But it's coming out as water because it's so deeply rooted or connected to some part of us that's very core to our being. Like it would invoke a lot of emotion. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's something that we would do because it, like for example, there's something that we would do because it makes a lot of physical sense. Like we would make a lot of money, but we may not necessarily be passionate about it. And let's say that we know someone who is personally affected by something, and because we know someone personally affected by that, it becomes an area of service or a mode of service that we would really like to partake in. Speaking of Virgo Pisces, access of service and servitude. And then it's like we get an opportunity to like get into that thing, to the thing that matters. And it's not that other things don't matter, but it's just like there's a lot more of a watery weight to it. I don't know. It's interesting. Welcome back. Oh, sorry to hear that, Holly. Wow, I didn't expect the Futurist Sentinel to show up in the past like that, but I guess I shouldn't have been surprised again because maybe this is like screw humanity, screw feelings. What did the cards say? Oh my gosh! Look, look at the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups. I could have just used this deck. All the cards are apparently coming out. But I feel like that also speaks to maybe also with the Three of Pentacles. It's like everything that we need, we have. It's like all of the resources, all of the connections are in place. We just haven't like broken ground yet. The Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Like, wait. Under the Ten of Cups is the Ten of Swords. So there's 8 swords in the background. Here. And then he's holding the 9th sword. I guess this is just like, it's general, right? Because it feels like there's this Ace of Swords clarity that happens to get us out of the 8 of Swords, where we're sort of feeling, it's a feeling of like paralysis or stuckness because of one's own inability to do whatever to get themselves out of it. And so the Ace of Swords is like, that's when we know how to get out of the situation. But at the same time, it feels like we know that it's going to cost us something. It feels like this is the person that's going to get 10 of Swords, and they know, like he, she, they, even though it's pretty coded as a he on the card, he knows what's going to happen to him if he continues forward. He's going to be the person on the ground with the 10 swords in his back. But with the bottom of the deck being the 10 of Cups, it's like this is the very thing, though, that fills these cups. It's like right now they're empty, but as it continues to rain, they're going to fill up. And maybe that's why the Futurist Sentinel would be showing up here. Almost like reassurance in a way. It feels like reassurance. Like if there's a tough choice or decision that we know we have to make, but it's like it might not sort of like work out the way we think. Would it be in the 10 of Cups? It might not. It might work out in a way that we would want for it to not work out. But in it working out that way, it actually makes us available or open to something completely new. Again, with the Ace of Cups energy. It's like we would know that it's going to suck. So let's look at. Oh my gosh. Or not. Apparently. Goodness. Oh gosh. Is that the sun? Was that the sun? Yeah, it's the sun and the moon. If you can, I can't hold it. Here's the sun. There's the moon. And then a whole bunch of cards just like flipped over backwards. Oh goodness. The sun, the moon, and the fool. Okay. Oh my gosh, now they're upside down. I'm going to keep them in reverse. Because if the 2 of Cups is in there, then it's meant to be in reverse. Oh, look, 6, 7. Knight of Cups. Looking for the Two of Cups. Oh, here's the Two of Cups. Oh, the Two of Cups ain't even in the part where things was whatever. So let me flip these cards back up. Hello? Why did the whole deck just like spit out at me? Oh, snap. So in reverse, it's one of the title cards, the Hierophant and the Lovers. These are the first three cards in reverse. The title card, the Hierophant, and the Lovers. The title card and the Hierophant, that it almost feels like an energy. The Lovers, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the Devil in reverse, Six of Wands in reverse, Nine of Swords, King of Pentacles. There we go. It wasn't that many cards. Projectile, yeah, it was very much so projectile card environment. It's like I went like that to start looking through them, and like the inside cards just like spat out and apparently turned in reverse. Okay, works as Blurry King and Queens. I am going to fix the blur. I could let it de-blur on its own, but you know. So the Two of Cups came out in between the Four and the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, Two of Cups, Four of Wands. Steph, what's up? How are you doing? So the Seven of Wands before is interesting because it feels like he's praying for strength, praying for the strength to either ward off these six wands down here, or praying that like the high ground holds until help arrives or something like that, right? And then the Four of Wands is here before. So this in context, especially with this energy, because again, this feels like the thing that we know we have to do that we really, for whatever reason, don't want to do. This is us praying for the strength to go through this. And it's like going through this is the very thing that sets us up again. Like the rain falling in the Ten of Cups fills the cups. And maybe the Ace of Cups with the Three of Pentacles is a semi shortcut energy where it's almost like the thing that we dread doing, we don't even necessarily have to do. It's almost very Abraham and Isaac, where Abraham took Isaac up the mountain because an angel told him that God wanted Abraham to sacrifice Isaac. And then Abraham is about to sacrifice Isaac, and the angel is like, ha ha, lol, JK, like, don't do that. And I recently heard somewhere, I don't remember who, they said that it was because maybe there were like other gods or deities that were worshipped. It's like there was a practice of sacrifice, and it was to show that that god didn't want or require sacrifices. And this is almost the spread that I did. The topic, I pulled out some Magic the Gathering cards, and I got the Covert Technician and the Futurist Sentinel, and we're just seeing what their message is. Right now, it's reading as there is something in the future that will happen that feels good, but I guess it could be whatever is going to happen. If we make this super general, like whatever is going to happen is going to happen. It could be like the best thing ever. It could be not so great, but it was reading as good. It reads as good. So something good that's going to happen, but it requires something from us that might be a little more than we think ourselves capable of, number one, or it requires something that is so like low of a possibility of happening, or it's such a remote option that it requires some kind of shining or shimmering to let us know that that's the thing. So the energy of the future comes back to the present or the past to make sure that that future becomes our present when we get there. I was just talking to Reem about like multiverse because she was telling me that she was watching Marvel, and I was like, I want to get into Marvel because they're really starting to get into the multiverse, and anything with parallel realities and multiverses, I love it. I love it as a concept. I love time travel as a concept. Um, but anyway, that's sort of the topic ish. So I'm doing pretty good. You know, I can't complain. If I were to complain, it would be to spit in the face, to bite the hand of the universe. But I'm good. Thank you for asking. But it's almost because it's one card. It's the three of cups, and then the three of pentacles, the ace of cups, the 10 of swords, the 10 of cups, the 7 of wands, the 4 of wands, and then the 2 of cups. So it's almost the format of the spread that I did in the dreamer spread. Where it's the dreamer, the dreamer would be in the middle, the 3 of cups would be the subconscious self, the near future would be the ace of cups, the long-term future would be the 10 of cups, the 4 of wands would be a card that I don't remember, the 2 of cups would be the conscious mind, the 7 of cups would be repression, the 10 of swords would be the guide, and then the 3 of pentacles would be the expression. Yeah. I didn't watch the Spider-Man, but I watched somebody go through like the Easter eggs and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, I know what happens in it. Like I probably basically know the whole movie because I've seen so many videos covering the movie. I didn't watch the actual movie, and I was like, I need to get into Marvel now. I started watching the What If series, which is great. Anyway, um, it's almost like, and I guess going to the 3 of pentacles and the ace of cups, being that energy of like us preparing to do one thing and then something else, like something completely different happens. This could be like with the 10 of swords and the 10 of cups, we could be psyching ourselves up to do something, and so like we're building up the internal fortification, we're building up the internal like reserves, we're building up our strength, we're like gaining momentum, we're psyching ourselves up, we're preparing ourselves to do something or to say something or to put ourselves out there, and then we're met with a welcomed energy. It's like this person thought that they were about to have to fight against 6 different people. So it's like, well, if I'm going to be on the defensive, let me at least get the high ground. And then it's like you find out that the energy is more welcoming than whatever. It's almost like it's like when it was on the internet. I don't know if anybody ever really did it, but it's like the teenage girl who's like, "Mom, Dad, I'm pregnant." And they're like, "What? You're pregnant? Well, who's the father? Like, what are you going to do? What are we going to do? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh." And then the teenage girl is like, "I'm not pregnant, but I failed my math test." And so it's like you shock and awe has been a thing. Shock and awe everywhere. But it's like you shock them with something bigger and more whatever than the actual thing. And so it's almost like they're, since it de-escalates, then it feels like there's a release of tension. It's like we would have started at a baseline of 0, and the thing would be a 2. The thing would be a 2 because it's the 2 of cups. And but from 0 to 2 is like, you skip number 1. So we take them to like 5. And then we take them back down to 2. Oh, I like that. Because if you take them up to 5, the drop from 5 to 2, that 3 is greater than the rise from 0 to 2. So it's more relief from it not being this other thing than stress at it being more than what we already thought it was, if that makes sense. Right. We need to gain 2. We need to go from 0 to 2. But if we take them from 0 to 5 and then drop 3 to get to that 2, the 3 that we drop in relief is greater than the 2 that we gain in stress. So overall, we feel better. It's that energy. That's kind of here. I don't know if that's how it's going to play out, because sometimes, you think that, oh, like spirit, I'm going to be clever. I'm going to act like I'm preparing myself to do this, but I know that at the last minute, something is going to happen where I don't have to do it. Like maybe Archangel Michael is going to step in and do this for me. So I'm going to gird myself, and I'm going to don my armor, and I'm going to grab the sword, and I'm going to ride on my horse for Michael to be like, you ain't got to do it. Going back to Abraham and Isaac, but we're not sacrificing a person. And then sometimes it's like, man, like I actually had to go in there and do that. And it's like, yeah, you did. Because you tried to get around it. Because you thought you weren't going to have to do this, then you actually had to do it. That's spirit guide reverse psychology. When we start to try to learn the psychology, like when we learn the psychology, they got to reverse it, keep us on our toes. You know what I mean? Or not, right? Don't take it if it doesn't resonate. But I think sometimes it's just like, because it's almost like if we're overly reliant or overly dependent on someone else doing something, then we're not really as prepared to do the thing because we think someone else is going to do it. You know what I mean? Anyway, that was a whole bunch that I wasn't even ready for. But that it also goes back to when I did the reading with the Ace of Cups. It was the Ace of Cups, wasn't it? It was the Ace of Cups, the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and then the Four of Cups. And that's that energy right there. With the Ace of Cups, we get the vision, we get the feeling, we do a little bit of work expecting maximum results. And then we stop and we don't get whatever. And it's like, whoa, like, why didn't I get it? And it's like, girl, like you stopped clocking in. You only showed up for 20 minutes and you're expecting a 40-hour, 80-hour paycheck. If you ain't clocked in working 80 hours, you don't get paid 80 hours. Like, that's not how this works. And it's like, oh, but like, I got the job. Like, I'm salaried. You have to pay me. Hello. It doesn't matter if I work 5 seconds. It's in my contract. And it's like, okay, well, that's not how this works. Because you didn't do anything that you needed to do. If you would have finished your work in that 5 seconds, yeah, you would have got all 80 hours. But you literally showed up, breathed, and then left. Anyway. Let's not get lost in the metaphor. Who was that? The Ace of Swords and the title card was at the top of the deck. See, I feel like, again, that speaks to this energy where it's like we think that it's sort of going to go down one way, but in reality, it works out in a different way. But again, it's like, it might work out that way. Take it as a resonance. Because with this Futurist Sentinel, it's like something has to be done. We have to reach some point. This energy helps us reach the point that we need to reach to get where it is. But it I don't know if it's necessarily guaranteed, because again, it's like if it was guaranteed, then the energy wouldn't need to show up in the now to make sure that it happens then. If it were guaranteed, there would be no point. It would just happen. You know what I mean? I don't know. Hello, McFly. Marty. Somebody was talking about talked about that Back to the Future Part 2, where they were like, in the year 2015, we're going to have flying cars and flying hoverboards, and we're going to have this and we're going to have that. And then 2015 hit, and we didn't have none of that stuff. It's like, well, at some point, somewhere along the line, we weren't Moon and Virgo and making the stuff happen behind the scenes, so that Back to the Future Part 2 future with the flying cars will be our reality. Now, I ain't even got to talk about how much gas he is, but that's fine. Okay, this is good. So now I'm going to look for the Three of Cups in the future and the after tarot from the bottom. Oh, interesting. So the bottom two cards, it's the Ace of Swords, the King of Wands, and Strength. I love this. I love that so much. They become friends. There's a lot of animals in these three too. The falcon, the salamander, and the lion. Like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So there's the lion. The King of Swords would be the witch with the staff. Makes sense. And the wardrobe would be the Ace of Swords. And the wardrobe was the portal to that other world. The portal to the other world being the Ace of Swords. Interesting. Okay. Ooh, the 5 and the 6 of Swords. I like that. The 6 of Swords was also behind the Ace of Cups. It was the 3 of Pentacles, the 3 of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and then the 6 of Swords. So it's interesting that energy appears again. Looking for the 3 of Cups. Where is this card? Hello? I'm like over halfway. I'm well over halfway through the deck. Oh, snap. What? This is cool. So we have the Four of Wands. And again, after after the Two of Cups, because it was the Seven of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Four of Wands in the before tarot. Then in the after tarot, we have the Four of Wands before everything. So this is a bridging energy. The Ten of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. Wow, like I'm tingling. I got the tingles. Oh my gosh. The Four of Wands literally bridges to the Ten of Cups. And we see the Three of Pentacles after. Oh, sorry. Every time I pull out these like Yu-Gi-Oh cards or these magic cards, I'm like, I believe that I'll receive a message no matter the format. If I use a card, if I use the geomancy symbol thingies, if I pick up a rock, if I tell Siri to flip a coin, it doesn't matter because my universe is in communication with me and I'm in communication with my universe. And sometimes I don't want to be, but I am. But anyway, yeah, this is crazy. Because look, the Three of Cups. So the Four of Wands. Oh my gosh. So so the Four of Wands again, the Four of Wands came out after the Two of Cups. Right? The bottom of the deck on the before tarot was the Ten of Cups. And behind the Ten of Cups is the Ten of Swords. And I pulled this because that was the Ten of Cups that I was going to look for. The cards that fell out was the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. When I went looking in the after tarot, on the side of the Futurist Sentinel, on the side of the golden timeline, right? Or the protector of that golden timeline. Before the card, before the Three of Cups, was the Four of Wands, the same Four of Wands that came out after the Two of Cups that I just showed. After that was the Ten of Cups. Again, the card that the Ten of Cups is here every time. That was before their field. This is after their field. And then it's the Three of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. But the Ten of Cups is a numerological One of Cups. The Three of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, the Ten of Cups. The Ace becomes the 10. Like it's the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Cups on both decks. And the Futurist Sentinel, like it came out in the before tarot. It came out again with the same energy, but in the present, before it's an ace, it's just potential. In the future, it's the Ten of Cups. Every cup is filled. And again, it read like there's some kind of situation that we really don't want to go through. But the rain that happens as we're going through that fills these 10 cups. It fills the 10 cups. And the stars come out. It's all dark here, right? That's why I'm like, oh my God. This might be it. I might not even do the other thing now. That's wild. But it plays out the other way. It goes 10 cups, Three of Pentacles, instead of Three of Pentacles, cups, one Ace of Cups. it plays out in the opposite direction. So maybe because this is the before and the after, right? So what happens in the in between? I'm not gonna pull the between tarot. I could have pulled the between tarot and did the Ten of Cups in the between tarot, but I'm not, because Eve already said to use the Starman tarot. So, but that's wild. I can't believe that happened. I'm still waiting on Mercury and Pisces. I'm just playing. I mean, I'm not, but you know. Oh my gosh. The bottom of the deck of the Starman Tarot is the Three of Cups. This is the Futurist Sentinel showing up again. So the Futurist Sentinel makes an appearance both in the past / present and in this deck. But I've been seeing the Three of Cups in the Starman. It's like every time I put the Starman away, the Three of Cups was here. And the Three of Cups always read as it's when we can handle our own shadow to the point where when we come together with others, we're not projecting onto them and making things like weird, where we can actually be a community of individuals without needing everyone to be like homogenized, because you know we respect and we'll mostly respect everyone. Maybe there's some other things, but the Three of Cups is at the bottom with the Queen of Wands. We just saw the King of Wands with the Ace of, it was the Ace of Swords, the King of Wands, and then Strength, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Um, oh, snap. Well, speaking of that energy, it feels like a Queen of Wands among Queens of Wands. Like this is one who stands in her power amongst others. And she doesn't have to put herself above them or make them beneath her or whatever. Like everyone can stand as equals here, which is, again, that's the thing about the Three of Cups, that it felt like it was hard to really sort of manage in the past. But let's look for that Ten of Cups. The Magician is the Starman. I don't think I've ever gotten the Magician. I gotta like read these because I don't know what the Ten of Cups looks like. Was that 2 cards? 3 and the 2 of Wands. The oh snap! We got the 3, 2, 1 of Wands after the Hanged Man. That's interesting. Here's the Hanged Man. Oh snap! Before the Hanged Man is the Ten of Swords. This would be the Ten of Swords now, and then there's the Hanged Man energy. But after the Hangman, it's literally the 3 of Wands, the 2 of Wands, the Ace of Wands. So here's that stopped energy with the Hangman, and then all of a sudden it's 3, 2, 1. Wait. And then the 6 of Pentacles is after that. With Tiger Head Man. I remember when Tiger Head Man was coming out. 3, 2, 1, Tiger Head Man. The 3, the 4, and the 7 of Pentacles. 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay. Is this going to be also that, like I said, like this is how many cards were left at the top of the deck. It's not Judgment, is it? No, that's not Judgment. That's the Knight of Cups. This is how many cards were left at the top of the deck. So the future is very consciously subconscious, because the closer to the bottom of the deck, the more subconscious or subtle the influence, the more it sort of takes for us to sort of get there. But I pulled from the bottom, so it's actually closer to the top of the deck. So if I would have pulled from the top in that way, which I think is an interesting message in itself, it's like if I would have gone in the order of subconscious to subconscious, I would have found this future a lot quicker. But again, that goes back to like trying to take spiritual shortcuts using spiritual psychology, and then spirit hits us with reverse psychology. It's like, well, oh, if I go for the most subtle influence first, then I'll get there quicker. And it's like, actually, no. Maybe that goes back to the conversation about bypassing. Maybe it doesn't. But this is doing the same thing. Like, I'm still looking for the Ten of Cups. And I'm almost at the top of the deck. Ooh. Oh, I found the Ten of Cups. So we have the Prince of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. The Ten of Cups is in between the Prince and the 10, or the Prince and the 8. And then the Ace of Pentacles is behind that. And I just talked about this. The Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. This is from that. It's the EYE versus the capital I. The capital I is universal witness. It's the seed of the divine that lives within us. The EYE is like the third eye, our ability to perceive. But in that reading, it's like there's a disconnect between our ability to see, perceive, and our ability to manifest or to make manifest in a way. Very like telescopic energy, where it's like we could see the surface of the moon, but we can't get there. You know what I mean? Well, you know, in the metaphor, it's like being able to see something but not experience it because we didn't native cups enough. And I also talked about the Heyoka recently when I used the mystical shaman oracle cards, because I talked about Wakinyan and the Heyoka, the drum. It was the drum and something else that came out. The drum is the artifact. Both this is an artifact creature and an artifact vehicle. And I was gonna say something about like with the energy of the artifact, it's something that's old. It's like so old that we don't even know what it was originally intended for. We can take a best guess. We don't know how to use it. We don't know how to activate it. And this artifact, ancient old energy, is coming out with the energy of the future, which for some reason makes me think of Remy and the masculine being revived. It makes me think of Remy, something that Remy said. Maybe that was gate 4. Was that gate 3 or gate 4? I don't even remember the goddess's name. But she talked about how books were burned and priests and priestesses were killed, and there was knowledge, information that was lost. But that knowledge and information isn't lost. It's like some people will receive old knowings, and maybe there will even be new ways to go about certain rituals and magics or whatever. And not to say or whatever in a like a flippant, disrespectful way, just like any as a very umbrella, like more than I would even know to be aware of. It kind of makes me think of that. Oh, I say that because the sacred clown is here. The sacred clown is right here behind the Ace of Pentacles, the Heyoka, the sacred clown. I don't remember the rest of that reading. All I know is that I talked about the story of Wakinyan and Tatanka before Tatanka was invited to join the Wakantanka with the bear. It was the bear and the drum. No, not the bear. The drum had the falcon on it. The other card had a bear on it, and it was the bear and the drum that made me think of Wakinyan and the Heyoka. But yeah, so this Eight of Cups, Ace of Pentacles came out in that. Again, it's like when we complete that Eight of Cups journey, we end up in the land of the Ace of Pentacles. But when we stop short, we stop short. Then coming out with this Heyoka energy, with the Sacred Clown energy. They don't know. It's funny that the tower, so the tower is here before, and the Eight of Cups is here after, outside of the window, right? Outside of the card before and after the Three of Cups. It's interesting that the tower is here because the tower came after the Hanged Man in that video. In another video I did, it was the Seven of Swords, the tower, and the Hanged Man. And it was an energy of like, there's something that we don't do, or there's something that we can't do. And because we can't do or don't do, because we don't do the thing that we can't do, we sort of continue to eddy. Even when there's a change in the direction, even when there's a change in the wind, we eddy because we block off that wind, and so the wind, it blows back, and then it blows back and it meets the change in the wind again, but it keeps blowing back. And so we sort of like, we're like the leaf that blows in a circle when it's like windy, because we can't clear that obstacle and continue to move with the wind. And so the tower came out, and that was in it's the Cyril Machete Tarot, Gilded Tarot Royale. The tower in the Gilded Tarot Royale, it feels intentional, like the person caused some destruction and then they flee out of the tower. And so it was like us doing the thing that we can't do and breaking ourselves out of sort of one cycle and into a new one. And when I saw the Hanged Man in the 3-2-1, that reminded me of the reading with the Seven of Swords, the Hangman in the tower. Because it was like Hangman, it was the Ten of Swords and then Hangman energy, and like 3-2-1, it's time to go. It's like it's time to do the thing. And again, like with the Ten of Swords here and the Ten of Cups, it's like there's a lot of hesitation around this because we believe it's going to play out in a certain way. But that's the very thing that fills the cups. The Lovers in the Hangman are the Lovers in the Tower. Again, I feel like that just sort of clarifies, it's like it's a decision that we make that isn't easy. It reads as a very difficult decision to make. And it reads as, again, like there's a lot of history behind why we continue to make the like choice or decision that we make. And maybe that's when we stop walking on that Eight of Cups sort of path and we stop short of the Ace of Pentacles. So, but back to this. And it's interesting that the Prince of Cups is here because I kept seeing the Knight of Cups. I don't think I said anything, but I thought about Eve every time I saw the Knight of Cups. I lost the card that was after the Ten of Cups. It was the Eight of Cups. It was the Eight of Cups. But I already put it back in here. Oh, Sacred Clown, Eight of Cups. Here it is. Because it was the Eight of Cups, and then behind that was the Ace of Pentacles. Hold up. Yeah, because there's the Three of Cups that showed up again before the Prince of Cups. Okay. Oof, I think. I'm kind of getting like mixed up. The Prince of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Eight of Cups. Is that how that was? I'm pretty sure that's how it was. I love this. 1+1 = 3. Cups math is different than Earth math. And I feel like that's the point. Cups math is different than Pentacles math. It feels like Pentacles math and Swords math would be similar. Um, it's just like it's different. There's also, oh, look, we got the lion in the wardrobe and the cat and the falcon. I guess the child would be the witch. The lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. Um, yeah, the Prince of Cups sort of stepping out into that new world, right? Like stepping out of the wardrobe. Um, but again, I feel like it plays into that. It's just like things happen in a way that it plays out different. And it's like going back to that Three of Pentacles before and the Ace of Cups before. It's like we're making plans. Things are unfolding in a certain way where we think that with that Ten of Swords, something is going to happen. But it's the resolve that we build up as we're working through that before the resolution comes in. Like going back to Crossroads, it's like we're working up the resolve to travel in this direction. But then the resolution comes in here. So we actually go in a different direction. But it's the resolution and the resolve that gets us traveling down that way to meet this energy as it's passing through. It's almost like those like transatlantic ocean currents. What is it's Finding Nemo with the turtles when Marlin and Dory like they get into that slipstream and it's like it takes them in a different direction. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that other thing I was gonna do because I've already been on here for an hour and a half. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe I won't do it at all. Um, Interesting. See you, Steph. I was born in Mercury retrograde too. Oof. My Mercury is retrograde in Pisces in my 12th house. So my Mercury gets no peace in my chart. Mercury is in a sign it doesn't like to be in, and a house it doesn't like to be in, and it's retrograde. I'm just like, oof. But I like it. I feel like it makes me me, you know? All right. See you, Holly. Enjoy time with your friend. And again, it's interesting that the Eight of Cups is here because the Prince of Cups is reaching for this cup with two skulls on it. And there's a letter attached to it too. If it'll focus. See? The cup on top of the skulls, and then the little letter right there. Oh, it almost focused. And I feel like with the two skulls, it's like death and rebirth. And again, it's like this. This is the Seven of Cups ish, Eight of Cups I have. This Eight of Cups feels like the Seven of Cups. And so maybe it's like it's wanting to move forward, or it's in it. It's like it's willing to walk away from whatever it needs to walk away from, to heal whatever it needs to heal, to go wherever it needs to go. But it might not know like what do I need to walk away from? What do I need to heal? This could be like after a certain amount of time on a journey where it's like, we've already healed everything that we need to heal. We've already healed everything that we know we need to heal. We've already worked through everything that we know we need to work through. Excuse me, what now? Three of Wands, Two of Wands, Ace of Wands. That would be the Hangman position after the Ten of Swords. We've 10 of Swords, whatever we need to 10 of Swords, and then we hit this Hangman like waiting period, right? And it's the Three of Wands because again, it's like as we're traveling in this direction, there's a current moving in this direction. And when we meet that, that's like the Three of Wands is waiting for us to meet the current. The Two of Wands is when we hit the current, and we can either go in the direction we were already going, or we can go in the direction that the current is going in. And if we choose to go in the direction that the current is going in, that's the Ace of Wands. That's the 3-2-1 after the Hangman. But that's all fire. This is all water. And for me, going to Souls and Essences, with it being fire, it's like those things will happen. We stand in the position of how we work with those things, how we integrate, how we separate, how we proportion, mix, temperance, alchemize within ourselves, who we need to be to get the most out of those situations. And it's hard for us to be all that we need to be in the moment if there are things that we still have unresolved within ourselves. Right. If we still can't do the things that we can't do, then we won't do the thing that towers us into the Ace of Pentacles. It's like crowning. So it's an energy, and the Empress is right here. I've been looking at her. The Empress is on the bottom of the deck with the Three of Wands. Speaking of the Three of Wands, at the bottom of the After Tarot, or it was at the split with the Page of Swords. Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles. Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and Justice. See, I told y'all like Earth math and air math are so similar. And then under Justice is the Two of Wands. So there's the two. With the Knight of Cups. This is where I saw that Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups, Two of Wands. Okay, anyway. The Empress is there, and it feels like it's an energy that's like perpetually pregnant because it never releases. It reminds me of the show I watched. It reminds me of Bob's Burgers and Fairy Tale. In Bob's Burgers, there was a lady, let's call her a Queen of Wands. She became a dragon, and she held a child in her womb for 400 years. because she was not ready to let that child be in the world. She was pregnant for 400 years because she kept the walls closed. And in Bob's Burgers, there was the episode with the biker gang, right? And Mudflap was pregnant and she didn't want to have that baby. She was trying to keep the doors closed, and then they had to like help her work through her mental emotional things in a way, I believe. I don't recall the episode completely. But then after that, or maybe it was a different episode. Maybe it wasn't Mudflap. Maybe it was a different episode of Bob's Burgers with someone who did not want to have a baby. And it's like, let the baby go, girl. Like, let it be. And it reaches the 9. And then it crowns and it comes into the world as the 10. But it's like we keep ourselves stuck in the 8 in a way. So we never breach into the Ace of Pentacles. But anyway. I should do an elemental math class. Oof. I might have to. I don't even know if Sagittarius could help me with that. I don't know what sign I would have to tap into to be able to do elemental math. But in a way, that again goes back to the EYE versus the capital I. Because on the EYE side of it, it was the Page of Pentacles. Where'd it go? It was that Page of Pentacles. Page 3 of one. Wait, 3 of Wands. I don't know. No, it was Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Justice. It was a Page of Pentacles that we met on the EYE side of it that taught us how fire is also water, and how fire is also air, and how fire is also earth, and how fire is fire. And when we understand the 4 elements in relation to the 4 elements, then there's this deeper knowledge of how it all comes from the energetic, it all comes from the ether, it all comes from spirit. And then in that understanding, we're able to sacred clown. Because now we can interact with, it's like we can translate, and I've talked about that too. Something about knowing how, like the conversion between physical shift and like spiritual shift and mental shift. It's like converting kinetic energy into electric energy. Like when the water moves the water wheel and that turns this and that turns that and it generates electricity. Because then it's like we can convert like a water math into an earth math to shift a physical situation. Or it's all within that umbrella of stuff that I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's beyond me. It's beyond me. Well, is it beyond me? I could be there eventually, maybe. You know, given enough time, experience, life, and 8 of Cups, and I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it ties back into that again. This is interesting. I love how all the like when the like the before into the after tarot with that 10 of Cups, just like everywhere, that futurist sentinel. Well, that's the energy of the golden timeline, because the futurist sentinel is the 3 of Cups. The covert technician is the 2 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is what the 3 of Cups is trying to get us to experience from the 2 or whatever. Okay. I feel like I shouldn't, like, I don't even need final messages. I feel like this is good where it is. But I guess I'll do them anyway because I always do them. So, angels, they know that math. Angels definitely do know that math. So maybe I'll never know that math. I was like, maybe one day I could get to learn that math. The angels can teach us that math, right? It was Was it Metatron? No. Was it? There's the Book of Enoch. One of the angels approached Enoch, but somebody also approached. Was it Isaiah? Who was the one in the Bible who just like dematerialized from this plane? Like literally just ascended the plane and was gone. It was the person, it was like the mentor and the mentee, and they had names that were very similar. And the mentor just like dematerialized from the plane because interacted with an angel and was just like, okay, like, peace, I know, bye. Who was that? Was it Isaiah? I'll Google it. Where my phone is? Hey Siri, where you at? Here it is. Almost forgot. Isaiah the prophet. Let's go. What is Isaiah's main message? The prophet Isaiah played an important role in God's plan. He foretold the Messiah's coming and brought hope to his people during a challenging time. The promise of hope is not only for the nation of Israel, but for all of us. Okay, well. Was this the one who got like raptured? Isaiah was best known as the Hebrew prophet who predicted the coming of Jesus Christ to salvage mankind from sin. I love that they use the word salvage. Salvage us, please, because we need it. Sorry. That's just hilarious to me. Um, so was he not the one who just like dematerialized? Who was it? I don't know. I can't remember. I could ask my mom. Let me go ask my mama real quick. I'll be right back. I will be right back. So I asked my mama, and my mama salvage us because we are garbage. um, I asked my mom, and my mom told me to ask my dad, and my dad said it was Elijah Either Elijah or Elisha, one of those. And I knew their names were similar. Also, when I was reading Isaiah, I was like, I don't think it's Isaiah, but there's a prophet for you. I think it was Elijah. Well, here we go. Elisha was, according to the Hebrew Bible, a prophet and a wonder worker. His name is commonly transliterated. I've never seen the word transliterated into English as Elisha. Via Hebrew, Eliseus, via Greek and Latin, or Aleasa. I don't know. Okay, let's find this. In the biblical narrative, he is a disciple and protege of Elijah. So it is Elijah. And after Elijah was taken up in a whirlwind, he gave Elisha a double portion of his power, and he was accepted as the leader of the sons of the prophets. Elisha then went on to perform twice as many miracles as Elijah. There were wonder workers, prophets, and he was taken up in a whirlwind, which is interesting because maybe that is the leaf caught in the eddy. The whirlwind, the eddy, when the wind goes and it comes and it. I don't know. Wonder workers, miracle makers. Why? Eve? Angels. The person who was taught. Okay, that's why. I was like, why was I even on Elijah? I do want to look at Elijah though, real quick. Excuse me. It's in the Book of Kings. Oh, snap! Elijah is in the Book of Kings, and Rob was talking about the kings. There you go. Oh, snap! If that's in Kings, that's in the Old Testament too. That's before Jesus came. Elias, what? Oh, snap. Okay. Anyway, that's that. So, so it said that because it said that Elijah defended. So ranks with Moses in saving the religion of Yahweh from being corrupted by the nature worship of Baal. And Baal was the Canaanite god. Elijah defended the worship of the Hebrew God over that of the Canaanite deity Baal. And that it's interesting because the story of in the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Cups and all of that, the story of Abraham taking Isaac up to the mountain to sacrifice him, being and someone whoever said that like when that happened, it's because there was deity worship that required sacrifice, and that was the angel's way of letting Abraham know at the seed of the Judeo-Christian faith, at the Judeo-Christian and Islamic faiths, because it all goes back to Abraham before we get into Isaac or Ishmael, right? It's like this is like the Yahweh Hebrew God is not one that requires like physical blood sacrifice. Like we're not doing that, girl. And so it's interesting that that came up like this deity versus that deity again in Elijah. And if we take out this deity versus that deity, maybe it's like maybe there's a shift or a change in just beliefs, like spiritually rooted belief systems, and what we need to do and who we need to be in order to get a miracle. It's like this is something that's no longer required. Like in this direction, you ain't got to do this, you ain't got to do that. It's not going to work for you. And so if we're still sacrificing certain things, thinking that it's going to get us something because in other systems it got us that, and those sacrifices aren't valid in this field, then it's like we're not going to get the thing because that currency is no good here. Oh, snap, is that element math? It took me back to currency exchange. Ooh, exchange in physical pinnacles. What was it? Physical pinnacle for spiritual coin. We can trade spiritual coin for physical pinnacles. And that was a translation of energy. It's like we do so much energetically, we do so much spiritually, and then it correlates and corresponds to a certain physical change. And there was something about making our spiritual coin strong. Because if our spiritual coin is weak, it's going to take a lot of those coins to get one physical pinnacle. But if our spiritual coin is strong, then for one spiritual coin, we can get lots of physical pinnacles. Man, I ain't been on that in a minute. That was like, what, 2 years ago? I don't know. It's back there somewhere. And I didn't even think about that in all of this, like thinking of the elements as they relate to each other so that we can convert one form of energy shift and change and movement. Work is the energy required to get something done or something like that, right? Hey Siri, define work. Our energy?
Work means denoting things or parts made of a specified material or with specified tools.
No.
Do you want to hear the next one?
No. Was it energy or force or work? I thought it was work. The exertion of force overcoming resistance.
Okay.
Oh, stop!
I found this on the web for what is the energy or force or work.
Stop! I found it. I finally found the definition. It was like the energy of exerting to overcome resistance to make something happen. So anyway, yeah. And maybe that's what the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Cups is doing as we do those things. Like the Seven of Swords, the Hangman, into the Tower. It was that tower. The tower is the space of us increasing the currency exchange rate of our spiritual coin to help it more easily translate to physical pinnacles or earth, water, air, or fire. Because it's the spirit that sort of precedes all of that. But if the spirit is weak, then it's going to take a lot to get a little. Okay. All right. Me too. Take it as it resonates, take it as if and when it resonates, as it resonates. So I'll say 154 is when we get into the final messages. Final messages 154. I have access to like 3/4 of my keyboard or 2/3 of my keyboard. So, and I think that's the thing about that's why that like bypassing and shortcut energy doesn't work. Because it doesn't add any value to our spiritual coin. Oof, I wonder how strong your coin has to be to like be labeled a wonder maker. That's a strong coin. Ooh, ooh. Make sure I got all the cards right. I don't want to mix decks. I don't even have a rider weight. I got the before and after, but no rider weight. The only rider weight I have is like the teeny tarot. Whoa, what's all this? Hello? Why did that happen? Hello? That was weird. Who knew that Magic the Gathering could lead to something so deep? It is. You know, Fridays are for magic. What if I did a magic reading like not every Friday, maybe every other Friday? Because Fridays are for magic. Where's the hold up. Friday nights are for magic. Welcome to the world of Magic the Gathering. Here are some cards to get you started. Oh, snap. I kind of love that. Here are some cards to get you started. I don't know where it goes. I don't know what that Ace of Cups is or where the Futurist Sentinel is directing or popping up or whatever. But it feels like I had the teeny tarot. It's like that big. I can pull it out. Ooh, Queen of Cups at the cut. Queen of Cups and the Lovers. Oh, the Dolphin is bringing the cup. The Dolphin is bringing the cup. We just got to make the choice or decision. Wait. Let's see if I can even get it. Oh, it's right here. The Tiny Universal Weight Tarot. This is what I have. This is so, this is my only universal. This is my only rider weight deck. Was that the Nine of Wands? Oh, it's the Nine of Wands after. Oh, there go my spine tingles. My spine is tingly. It is. I'm like trying to shuffle. Interesting. Oh, I'm gonna try really hard not to. There we go. Oh, a saga. Okay. So the first final card I'm gonna get from the Magic deck. It's not even a deck. Like I said, I got Kamigawa, Neon Dynasty Kamigawa. I got a draft booster, a booster, and a collector's booster. And then I got a Crimson Vow booster, a standard booster, a welcome booster, a Crimson Vow welcome booster, a Kamigawa welcome booster, a standard welcome booster, and a D&D welcome booster. That's a whole bunch of cards. With the Peerless Samurai. I'll take the Peerless Samurai. I'm putting everything else back. How many cards is this? Too many. Is that Thunder? Thunder Steel Colossus? I almost took it. I'm going to put this in the middle. The Demon of Loathing is at the bottom of the deck. With the Peerless Samurai coming out. Oh, look! Look, under the demon of loathing is the runaway trash bot. Look at the runaway trash bot when we're talking about salvaging garbage. We're not garbage. The Reverend is right. We're garbage. We're not garbage. I should rewatch Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Okay, so first is the Peerless Samurai. And this is an alternate art card. It's interesting because this one also only has 2 power. So the Peerless Samurai can't by itself drive the Futurist Sentinel. It has Menace. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, the next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less energy to cast. I think this, whenever someone attacks alone, the next spell costs 1 less energy to cast. It feels like I'm trying to think of the saying, but it's like as we as individuals change and shift and move, it makes it easier for others in the collective to change and shift and move. And as more and more and more people change and shift and move, it makes it even more easy for others to change and shift and move until the whole thing is changed. A drop wears away the stone, maybe? That might be the saying. 1 drop wears away the stone, and it's interesting because we also have that it's a drop in a bucket. But when it's a drop in a bucket, it's like, does it even mean anything? When it's a drop in a bucket, it's negligible. But when it's 1 drop wears away the stone, that 1 drop is significant. And that difference in significance, talking about the weight of a spiritual coin when it comes to physical pinnacles and increasing the value of our spiritual coin, adding significance with that drop. Is it a drop in a bucket, or is it the drop that wears the stone? I'm leaning towards 1 drop wears away the stone because this is a Kamigawa Peerless Samurai, and 1 drop wears away the stone feels more Zen, feels more samurai. Then that's just a drop. Well, I guess either one could be. Anyway, I'm leaning towards a drop that wears away the stone. Yeah, it's the drop that wears away the stone because it makes it easier, only by 1, but it makes it easier to cast. Bottom of the deck is the Demon of Loathing. And it has Menace. Again, I'm still new to Magic, so I don't know all the attributes, but Menace means that it can't be blocked by 1 creature. It has to be blocked by at least 2 in order for it to not attack the other directly. I'm pretty sure that's what Menace does. So it's hardy. It's a hardy mofo. And it's making it easier for other people. It reads as like hope is harder to kill than a lot of people might think, or a lot of energies might think. It kind of sort of also reads as the resilience of humanity too, or just people in general, you know. The Demon of Loathing has flying and trample. Flying can only be blocked by another flying by another creature with the attribute of flying or by the attribute of reach. Trample, I think trample, it deals excess damage. Like if it's blocked, the extra damage is dealt to the player. Because if you block anything, like you can block with something weaker, but as long as the attack is blocked, the player is safe. But I think trample takes that away. So it's like you have to at least match it, which is interesting because it also has flying. So it's like not only do you have to either fly or have reach, you also have to match it or exceed it to not take damage. So it's almost not necessarily the immovable object and the unstoppable force. I just thought I heard birds chirp, and it's like 8 o'clock at night. The birds are asleep. The birds are back in their nests, tending the eggs. Speaking of birds, I've been hearing so many different kinds of birds at work this week. It's been kind of ridiculous. And then, speaking of that, and speaking of menace and the Peerless Samurai, I saw a bird. There's barbed wire on a fence at work. I saw a bird just like on the barbed wire, not on a barb, but on the wire, and then it flew off. And then yesterday, or the day before, I was sitting at the picnic table under the tree. I saw a bird fly from under a bush on top of the barbed wire, poop, and then fly off. Like it literally pooped on the barbed wire. Well, it didn't poop on the barbed wire because it was like standing on the wire, and so the poop went behind it because it's not that thick. But it was almost like, oh, this is supposed to hurt me. Like this is what I think of your attack, or maybe not attack in that way, just like something that is meant to prevent like an expansion, like a boundary. The birds are like, this means nothing to me. Almost kind of sort of like Sans Pisces reading, I guess. Where it's like, even though it's going through the storm, it's not really going through the storm. You know what I mean? It's like there, but it's like in the eye. It's off of the fault line. Anyway. Oh, I was going to look up trample. I'm pretty sure that's what trample does. Let's just say that that's what trample does. Because it feels like that's the energy with the demon of loathing. It's like you got to fly, you got to have reach, or you at least not. It's like not only do you have to fly or reach to resist the attack or to not take damage from the attack from this demon of loathing, you also have to meet its power or exceed it to not take damage from it. Look, oh, it's got 7 power and 7 toughness. It's coming out with the 7/7. With this coming out with that 7/7, it feels like it's something that's like, it's how sometimes we're allowed to experience certain tragedies. Not all. But it's like when it's like it's intended to be one of those, like, you fall down, you scrape your knee, you get up, you fall down, you scrape your knee, you cry. If you cry, you don't want to get back on the bike for however long, if you don't want to get back on the bike for however long, but eventually you get back on it and you learn how to ride. But in that, it's like the demon of loathing would be destroyed if you block it and you meet or exceed it. It will be destroyed. And I was thinking about devil energy earlier because I saw something, I think, and it was like how it's like it's something that we're supposed to overcome, and so in that way it works for us because we're not meant to like fall prey, or we're not meant to be victim to it for long. And I don't remember what it was. It was something, and then I was like, oh, that's kind of like devil energy, but it's a devil energy that, again, it's like that we overcome, that we break free from, that we liberate ourselves from. I don't remember what it was. So, whenever Demon of Loathing deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices a creature. So, if we get hit by the Demon of Loathing, not only do we have to take that damage, but we also have to make a sacrifice. And we've talked about how sacrifices like aren't it anymore. Like they're just not the value of sacrifice has decreased. We got to increase and inflate our coins in different ways. And the wording on it or the description is hatred is a potent ally, but an insatiable master. So I almost want to pull an angel from the Angelarium. Speaking of Angelarium, I need to like get on that whatever so I can pre-order. There's gonna like an Angelarium tarot. I ended up seeing the email after you forwarded that to me. I got in my junk box and I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, Angelarium tarot 2023 or 24. Like, I can't wait. And then behind that is the runaway. Oh, it's the runaway trash bot. I love it. I love that because the trash bot is humanity that's going to be salvaged, right? According to Isaiah. The runaway trash bot is the one that got away from the Demon of Loathing. Go trash bot, go! Go trash bot, go! And it's another artifact creature. The runaway trash bot also has trample. One day, it might roll over your foot. The next day, your entire house. One day, it might roll over your foot. The next day, the entire house. The runaway trash bot. It's built. It's an energy that builds. It's like it snowballs. If it's only big enough to run over your foot one day, and literally the next day, it runs over your house. That's like significant expansion in very little time. Talking about increasing the weight of coin. Look at runaway and like runaway trash bot. It feels like that's the Hangman 3-2-1. Because it's like after we get escape the clutches of the Demon of Loathing, the energy just like multiplies and multiplies and multiplies many-fold within itself. It's almost like you take the limiter off. And then it's just like, you know. Okay, I see. When I use these, I'm like, okay. I'm like, I really hope I'm not out here just making a fool of myself. Hey guys, let me grab my magic cards and do a reading for you. If it resonated, resonate. If it hit, it hit. And like I said, I personally believe that the divine, the universe can communicate to us in any number of ways. Any number. So that's interesting. I've never been. I might title this. Oh, snap. Who is this? Oh, I got a land card. I got the forest. Just sitting off to the side. As the sun reaches its zenith on the day of the solstice, a castle shimmers into view on the hilltop, just as ancient text predicted. Now we're coming into an equinox instead of a solstice, but that's interesting. Not every land card says something. Maybe since it's a foil land, it says something. I think I got a basic land in here. I think I have a basic forest. Yeah, see, here's an island, and the island just has the water drop on it. This card, it was at the bottom of the deck under the Futurist Sentinel. This forest was. And I love that. I was thinking about the Fata Morgana and the Prince of Cups, maybe. And the Starman, because there was like a little island or like something on a cloud. And it made me think of the Fata Morgana. Maybe it was a different card. As the sun reaches its zenith on the day of the solstice, a castle shimmers into view on the hilltop, just as ancient texts predicted. Talking about all these artifacts. Maybe that's where the runaway trash spot is like going. To the castle that shimmers into existence. And the demon of loathing is trying to stop it. I don't even know where my box is for these. Okay, love it. Cool. I actually really like that. Next, I'm going to go for the before tarot. That was. I was like, next, I'm going to go for the before tarot. I lift up the cards, and immediately, out pops the card. Guess what the card? I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds to guess. The card that came out is the title card. But it's the Fool title card. Emerging out of this cave with the dog. And the Fool, it looks like the Fool is walking on air. I feel like the Fool is walking on the clouds. The shimmering castle, the castle that shimmers into existence just as ancient texts predicted, the energy of the Fata Morgana. This is the Fool in that energy on the title card. And guess what the bottom of the deck is? It's the Futurist Sentinel. No, it's not. The Futurist Sentinel was the 3 of Cups, sorry. The bottom of the deck is the 10 of Cups. Going in a completely opposite direction. But again, it's like as it rains, it fills the cups. I don't know. I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa. No! Oh, wait. No, never mind. I thought I flattened the wrong box. I didn't. I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa. I should watch Easy A. No, that's I gotta fucking gotta back up with the sunshine. I gotta run that is oh, take me away. Okay. Works, sis. Love that. Love that. Love that. Title card just like boom. The title card for me is the live life and find out card. But actually like live life and find out. It's funny that the live life and find out card comes out under a 10 of cups of a, like that's so rainy and stormy. But when the sun clears, when the sky clears and the sun comes out again. Yeah, it's the 10 of cups. It's water math. The water math card came out. And clouds are they hold water vapor until they get too heavy and then they let it go. Okay, from the after tarot. The before tarot was immediately like live life and find out. There we go. Okay. Don't say I didn't tell you so. The Tower. And the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is going to the Tower. I feel like that was the Tower in the before tarot. The Tower came out in the before. Speaking of the storm, though. Oh my gosh, they hit the ground. I just noticed they hit the ground. They jumped out of the tower. They're on the ground. But I think they're alive. And it's like it's the way she's positioned in a way that it feels like she didn't fall like that. It feels like she's trying to crawl now. Oof. What's the Palace of Broken Dreams? It's almost like you return to the Palace of Broken Dreams to find one fixed. In a way. I don't know. Bottom of the deck is the Magician. You know what I like about the Magician? Is that there's this square of the energies. In the after, all of the elements are off of the table. And the before, I think it's like the Magician has a lot of experience with the fire and the air, but not as much with the earth and the water, because it's like holding a sword and a wand or something like that. But now it's using its wand, using its thingy to direct the four elements. It no longer has to interact with them physically and tangibly. It can manipulate them with this thingy, the as above, so below stick. And the dove from the Ace of Cups has landed, even though it's a fish in this deck. The Magician's like, okay, now let's see what we can do. I think there's also an energy of amending here. Yeah, returning to the Palace of Broken Dreams. It almost, I guess, because the Magician is there, it reads again like that gate 3 or 4 video. It might have been gate 3. I think it was gate 3. Was that gate 3 with Goddess Ningal? Was that Goddess Ningal? Girl, hopefully that wasn't Goddess Ningal, because then I'm like, how did I forget Goddess Ningal? But I think that was Goddess Ningal, who came out with the message of all of the priests and priestesses and the knowledge that was lost, but how it still lives on within us with all of these artifacts that are coming up. Because it feels like the Six of Swords is returning to these broken places, these places that were intentionally made difficult to access. And it's learning whatever magic was within those. It's like the knowledge wasn't destroyed. And that's what she said in that video. The knowledge isn't destroyed. The power is still there. Okay, girl. All right. I could probably look it up real quick. Where my phone is. Miss Remy Healings, Gate 3. If that was Goddess Ningal, I'd feel so bad. I would feel so bad. I think it was, though. Ooh, can I spell? Hello. Girl, it's like, hello? Did you not see me type Gate 3? Hello? Why y'all acting like I didn't type Miss Remy Healings Gate 3? Oh, wait. Search instead. Yeah, search for this instead, please. There we go. Yes, Gate 3, Gate of Magic and Dreams. Goddess Ningal she's associated with the dreams, and that was the magic. Gate 3, Gate of Magic and Dreams, step into power. Goddess Ningal. Oof, it was Goddess Ningal. I'm sorry. I'm going to link it in the description of this video, just in case, if you want to revisit it. Or I might comment it. I think I'll comment it. Maybe I'll do both. Porque no los dos, right? Yeah. Wow. Well, hey, I remember, or maybe Goddess Ningal was like, hello. How did you forget? I stopped popping up in your dreams, and all of a sudden you act like you don't know my energy when you come across it. I'm just playing. Speaking of dreams, I actually thought about that today. I think I ended up on Duma, Angel of Dreams. I was thinking about something, and then Angel of Dreams came into my mind. I don't know. It was a long day today, so today is also a very special Pisces' birthday. She probably won't see this video. If she does, stop watching my channel. Mind your business. Okay. So Starman Tarot is the last. Oh, there we go. Well, first we get the Tower, then we get the Ten of Swords. The bottom of the deck is the Alien. The Ten of Swords and the Alien. With the Eight of Wands behind that. And it's like the wands are falling onto the tree stump. See? I feel like that's the energy of Gate 3, Goddess Nangal again. And it's like, where did that information go? Where did that knowledge go? Where did that wisdom go? Where did that power go? And it's all these trees that have been severed. All of these trees that have been cut down, but these wands falling from the portal are coming to like reignite these trees. Like the wand activates the life that remains within this tree, and it's like it'll connect, and the wand will become the new trunk, and it will start to flower. So that which was lost will grow again. Okay, girl. So shout out to Goddess Nangal. There's some DNA in this alien. DNA alien. And the sacral. From the sacral to the solar plexus, there's some DNA. Oh, see again, like the DNA and the alien going back to like sort of like lineage with like family trees and stuff like that. I don't know. Oh my gosh, yeah. And it's the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is like where these trees were cut down. As the swords are like raining from the sky, just impaling everybody. That was lost until it isn't. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. Watch Gate 3, maybe something. Maybe Gate 3 will hit. Maybe it's time for Gate 3. And it is interesting because Remy said she's going to work back through the gates, right? So the gates, Gate 8 just opened. Now we're going back through the gates again. Here's Gate 3. Here's Goddess Nangal. Like, remember when I said, well, the time is now. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, with all that being said, Eve, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Holly and Ariel and Steph, for being here. I hope you have a good whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. And whatever all of this is, whatever you got to do, need to do, I hope that if you ever get a chance to sit it out or dance, I hope you'll dance. You know? I hope you'll dance.